Doing the reading at a soundstage. Doing a reading in a space that's neutral makes my job much harder because it doesn't have the energy of the person and it's not connected to them.
Hi! Hello! How are you? Good to meet you.
It took me a second to recognize her, but that's Nene Leakes. I know her from Glee.
Oh, look at you. You're so cute.
Oh, thank you.
How about that? I resorted to calling kids and asking them about my problem.
That's okay. We're going to figure it out.
You're looking like me, honey. You stole my hair color and everything.
I know. I'm loving it.
How dare you?
I know. One of us has to change.
As far as my beliefs, I'm a little skeptical, but I want to believe, so I really, really want him to make a connection.
Anything you'd like to know, we can kind of go in the direction of. So, of health, love, career, family, are you curious about any particular areas?
Okay, all.
All? Okay, which would you like to start with?
Not love, okay?
Sure,
Not
okay.
love.
No love, so we're gonna
I think I'm in love.
So yeah, we'll focus on the personal stuff to the side. Okay, so let's see what we're gonna do here. So I'm sitting with Nene, and I'm not getting anything, and I'm really hoping that she brought an object for me to connect with. So oftentimes it's a bit of a mixed bag as far as what's gonna come through. Did you bring an object today?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. Okay, can I hold on to it?
Sure.
Perfect. Oh, it's a bell. I love it.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Being a medical intuitive, I touched the bell and randomly became overwhelmed with a bunch of sensations that I had absolutely no control over. I'm so sorry, I'm sweating.
It's okay. It's okay.
In the process of a reading where medical mediumship is coming through, there are references oftentimes to how someone passed away, and I take on those physical symptoms and have to deliver them in order for them to go away. We have a woman coming through. I don't know what this is. That's odd. As she's kind of coming through with this, she's making me just feel very, almost heavy is kind of the way I would put it. I'm getting an overwhelming feeling that I can't quite pinpoint. And so as I'm going through this process, my face is starting to get sweaty, I'm starting to feel pale and clammy, and just overall very uncomfortable. As this is coming through, I just want to lay down. This can be the scariest part of a reading, just because I don't know what's gonna happen next. I don't know whether I'm gonna sweat or get a chest pain. I don't know where it's gonna go or how it's even gonna continue to manifest. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna take a really quick little 30-second thing to... I was trying really hard to decipher the message, but this was just too overwhelming.
I was worried. I was like, oh my God, he's sweating his ass off. What the hell?
I feel like I'm having difficulty kind of doing this. The way that this is coming through is she's bringing me to this for some reason. As this is happening, there's a reference directly where I feel like as I'm trying to swallow, so doing that, she's referencing to the filtration system of the body shutting down. She's referencing one kidney, actually. Do you know if there were any issues with the kidneys?
Yeah.
Okay, so who would have had the kidney issue exclusively?
My mom.
And so then with this, who would this be connected to?
My mother.
Your mother, okay.
I grew up not having my mom. It was very hard for me. You know, as a teenager, you want to be with your mom. So I know how to cope, I always knew how to cope without having my mom since I was very young.
And so with that, in how she comes through, she's just absolutely lovely. She's absolutely lovely. But there is a feeling of thank you for allowing me to move forward, to pass, to cross over.
She made a call knowing that I was out of the state and saying, I want Nene to come.
Right.
Because she was in the hospital.
Right. Yes.
She wanted to make sure that she could hear me or talk to me. But once I got there,
right.
I was talking to her saying, I'm here.
Right.
And at that point, like a couple days later, she went on.
Right. As Nene's validating the information, I'm starting to notice that I'm feeling drastically better. I'm noticing that I'm sweating less, I'm no longer seeing references to the filtration system, and that's my way of knowing that what is coming through is being delivered in the way that it's meant. So there is a reference, I don't know quite else how to put this, but this doesn't necessarily seem, there was something weird about the timing in which you were conceived.
There was definitely an issue with the timing, yeah.
I know this is weird, but there's a reference to two father figures, not just one, but then I see the basically a paternity-related kind of a thing where I feel like I question it, but I'm going between two people. So to put this bluntly, do you know who your biological father is?
I know who they say he is, and I have met him.
Okay.
We have not taken a DNA to 100%
Right.
prove it because my mom's passed on. She told me my father was one person all of my life.
Right.
And he was not. My dad, who I know to be my dad, was military.
Yeah.
He gone away.
Right.
So apparently while he was gone away, he always thought the timing was off. My only question is why she didn't tell me about the situation. I had to really learn, and there were people hurt along the way with me trying to figure it out. She told me someone else was my father, so it was kind of like, it was a surprise. And I just wonder, you know, if she regrets that, or what's she doing to protect me? You know, I just wonder about those things.
As far as why with this, when she's referencing to the other man, she just feels ashamed in the sense of, in the timing of it. Not ashamed of you, not ashamed of that it happened necessarily, and because it was a great gift to be able to have you. But with the timing, that the timing is what I was ashamed of. So that would be the reasoning.
I can understand there being a little bit of shame because my father knew the guy. They were friends.
Right, and that seems to be the...
Yeah.
Immediately, she's even shutting me down. It's almost like, it just feels like a subject that I don't want to talk about.
I can understand her shutting that conversation down because it was always shut down.
She's looking at all of the advancement that you've made. So for her, you know, that's big.
It was good to hear because I've gone on and done a lot of things. You know, I'm a wife and I'm a mom now, and she's not been able to be here to see that. So I want to make her proud like, you know, any other child would want to make their mom. Give me a hug, I'm a hugger.
Oh, I know. I think Nene really felt that the information I gave about her paternity was validating for her because I think in her heart she already knew the answer. But I know that she was curious about some of the reasonings and how her mom handled certain things. So I think her mom gave her the validation she was looking for, and I'm glad I was able to read her. Hello.
Hi,
how are you?
Oh, I recognize you. My husband.
Oh my God, come on to see you guys. How's it going?
Very good. How are you doing?
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. I recognize you.
You do?
Yes.
I'm Kim ZOLCIAK-BIERMANN from Housewives of Atlanta, and then I have my own show called Don't Be Tardy.
And I am Kim's husband, Croy. And Tyler might know me from the football field or filming next to my wife on her show.
Oh my gosh, well, thank you for having me today.
Thanks for coming.
It's such a surprise to see you both. I mean, I'm like in shock. This is awesome.
Me too. I can't believe I'm sitting in front of you.
Oh my gosh, well.
Huge fan of you.
I recognized Kim and Croy from their show on Bravo. So when they opened the door, I was totally shocked. I already have a lot of people popping in, so I'm ready to just kind of jump into it. Okay, I've got you, and you.
I'm trying to contain myself because I don't look like an idiot because I'm so excited. And now as I'm standing here, I'm dying to tell you what it is that I want, but I don't want you to know.
But
so
even
it's like I'm trying to beat around the bush, and I'm not very good at that. We're just very open and super excited. I'm so anxious.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so as of right now, I'm just gonna communicate. They have me kind of going all over the place. Okay. But it's coming through in a really weird way, and it's a funny memory. And the way this is coming across, but I'm doing this, and it's like a random thing of trying to dislodge something from someone like choking or having like an experience in which they're not able to breathe.
My uncle that just always choked. My Uncle Rusty, he always choked.
It's like a feeling of like having to literally smack someone in the back so hard that it flies out. And there's even an instance in which it flies out.
Yeah,
and everyone's
that's
like,
him. That's my
gross.
Uncle Rusty. Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Okay.
He ate very, very fast all the time, like inhaled his food. And my mom would always, you know, your Uncle Rusty choked so many times because he ate like that.
Weird. Okay. Let's look. So what they're having me reference to is an acknowledgement of a stroke, but there's two stroke messages. One is a stroke that an individual suffers and then passes away. Other is an incident in which an individual has a close call involving a stroke or something like a stroke, and they actually live and survive through this. The feeling is getting this, knowing that we're perfectly fine, and there's basically a thumbs up of like, this person's not going to have to worry about this issue again. I'm seeing kind of a susceptibility of almost what looks like blood clots, and that's something for me that looks preventable and avoidable, but this individual would have that susceptibility who also would have had this previous susceptibility to like a stroke-like incident.
That would be me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a stroke September 23rd of 2015.
15, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm so sorry.
From a blood clot. I was flying from LA
Right.
back home to Atlanta from Dancing with the Stars.
Oh my God, I'm
And I had a
so
stroke.
sorry.
I was just normal.
Weird.
I went down to hug my son as soon as I pulled in my driveway, and then my hand started to go numb, but it was like numb times a gazillion, you know,
Right.
like not the normal, like,
No.
shake it off. And I was like, oh, and then when I couldn't speak and I was trying to, was when it's so scary. The other stroke was life-changing, literally. Like, never thought at 37 I would have a stroke. And in front of my children, nonetheless. I've pretty much fully recovered, but I can't say that I don't think, like, could this happen again? My Uncle Rusty, my mom's brother, he died walking on or running on a treadmill, just dropped dead. And then my
Right.
doctors wanted the autopsy to see what caused it. So it showed coronary artery disease. So they're gonna do a test to see if there is any kind of blockage in my heart, just for precautionary.
Yeah, no, I think you're gonna be all right.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a very sensitive, scary issue, you know, especially when something happens out of nowhere like that. I think when he came through, the biggest acknowledgement was really just to talk about that ultimately you would be fine.
The message that I really wanted today was from my Uncle Rusty, like, everything's fine. That was really what I wanted to know.
Her having a stroke was a very difficult experience. We've done everything, you know, we possibly can to get answers. So to have Tyler address it and bring it up and say, you know, hey, you're good, I got the thumbs up. You
That's
know,
pretty nuts.
And yeah, that's definitely a relief.
Let me look and see what this is. School, 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 education, education. So for you, it's interesting. On your side of family, there's an interesting man that I'm wanting to connect with that's coming forward. They're showing me a symbol of an apple, and to me this references to education, education, education. But it's coming through in kind of a roundabout way, so it might not be a traditional situation where we have someone like a teacher. Someone worked at a school, near a school, as a secretary, but this is something that's done for almost like what feels like a whole life. This just feels like someone who worked a lot and worked really hard, but very much so in that kind of feeling. So where would that fit?
My grandpa. His name's Wilbert. He was a school bus driver for the local school kind of around there.
Corey has that.
Oh, okay. Great. Perfect. Oh, I love that. So sweet. Awesome.
Photo is of my dad's dad and my dad's mom. My dad's mom is still currently alive. He passed. One morning he was doing his thing like he normally did and didn't come back. At the time he should have been, you know, back in the house for, I think, lunch. And so Grandma went out looking for him and found him in the field.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Part of me, you know, wishes that I could have made a connection better here with him in this world. My grandpa, Wilbert, was my dad's dad. I wanted to connect with him just to kind of, just see how he was doing, see if he would say hi. And just to maybe say hi to him, since he's passed on, would be neat.
Immediately as I'm sitting here, when I'm holding onto this, there's a congratulatory kind of an element in the way this comes across as referring to a wedding. Is basically an acknowledgement of this relationship, an acknowledgement of the wedding. And I think that with him coming through with that, that was his way of acknowledging that not only was he part of you, but he was part of your marriage. And that's important, so please know.
He's telling you got a good one, my love.
Exactly.
Yeah, and he kind of had like a hidden support for me. You know, like he didn't really express it to me very much, but as soon as I was drafted, he went and got a satellite dish so that he could watch, because he couldn't get the games on his little TV down in the basement.
Right.
And he watched literally probably every game. It was just genuine support.
Right.
Versus, you know, like an opinionated support, you know?
Exactly.
And I don't talk to my parents right now. We have a disconnect there. You know.
His parents envisioned Corey to marry somebody a little different
Well,
than me,
and I don't want to speak for them, but it's just, how I interpreted their actions said something to me that I didn't really like, you know, and so by choice I've chosen to disconnect. But at some point, you know, I hope that there can be an understanding. It's just about being supportive and happy, and not saying it, but actually having your actions
Match what you're
saying, you know.
This man got to live a full life, and when he comes to the acknowledgement really is that he prioritized his love for you. That came before anything. It came before judgment. It came before what he thought you should have been doing. It came before any opinion, and I think that this is still a hope that we can have for your parents as well, because if he was able to be the supportive figure and this person who was able to, you know, evolve and grow and shift as a person and embrace that love, I think that that's, you know, something that your parents can do too. And I think that he has that hope, you know, that they'll be able to do that. So please know that you, at the very least, have his support.
Right.
And, you know, I think that it'll grow.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's interesting. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, my grandpa approving of
Your wife?
Yeah.
Ah!
and our marriage.
That's huge.
And
It's nice to hear confirmation and have approval of somebody, especially somebody that Croy really adored. It's meaningful, and we know we have a good marriage and a good relationship, but it's nice to hear that he sees that or what have you.
I don't know about you guys, but this is quite the collage here.
That is
So
unbelievable.
this was your reading.
wow,
I'm
that's
gonna-
neat.
Really, that's really neat.
Yeah, it was quite the trip.
It's like gonna be my show and tell to all my friends that are so jealous I'm here. Too.
Oh, that's so cute.
You're very well spoken. And
Thank you so much.
So young and so gifted.
Oh, I so appreciate it.
Just an incredible person. Like his energy, forget everything that he said, just even being in his presence was pretty overwhelming. This has been so amazing. You are amazing. Truly amazing.
So great.
Thank you very much.
You guys. Well, if you ever need anything, I'm always here.
Thank you, honey. I appreciate it. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So amazing.
Yeah, that's neat, right? Chanel getting back.
What
at
a
me.
great guy. He's definitely doing his calling, so that was exciting.
Yep.
My name is Kenya Moore. I'm an actress. I'm a former Miss USA, but most people probably recognize me from being Gone with the Wind Fabulous on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think fans see me on the show as very outspoken, very direct, very honest. Basically, I'm a wild card. You never know what you're gonna get. We're at a baby store because I have a little bundle of joy coming. And the possibility of what's to come is, you know, intimidating. So that's why I'm here. I'm probably more on the skeptic side, but I want to be a believer. I have never had a reading before because the unknown terrifies me. Hi. Hello. How are you? I'm well. Hi, Tyler.
Great to see you.
I'm Kenya.
Wonderful to meet you, Kenya.
Yes,
Oh my
you
gosh.
too. You're even cuter in person.
Oh, shucks. You look fabulous.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to be. It's hard when you're carrying this, you know, bundle around. So I wanted to bring you to a baby store because, you know, it's new beginnings, have some good vibes and energy.
Yeah. Fabulous. This is a first.
Yeah, this is my first.
Oh, really?
Yes. No, it's okay. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, is that good? If the girls start to peek out a little bit more, just let me know so I can cover them. It's a little bit more difficult now.
Same here, right?
I thought I was feeling butterflies, but I realized it's just a baby kicking.
I prefer to never really know what I'm walking into as far as what a client wants. So
Okay.
I think that naturally, usually what's meant to come through will. So do you have any objects today?
I do. I have a photo.
Fabulous.
Okay. You want it right now?
Yeah, if you don't
Okay.
mind, I'll hold on to it. Awesome. Fabulous. Okay. All right, so just give me 1 sec. I'm gonna kind of just see what's coming in. Okay. Whew, starting to sweat, which is always a good sign. It means stuff's starting to come through. And immediately as I'm connecting, they are having me talk about like mother figure keeps coming through. We're in a maternity store. But there's like a lot of motherly energy coming in. So I do feel like, give me 1 sec. I feel like I have to go, there's a situation basically where I feel like I have to talk about a grandmother, but she's more than a grandmother. This would be someone who would have taken on more of a role of like mom. And she basically kind of is just acknowledging this very loving, very like, oh, if you need some help, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna bring you in. Like, it's that kind of energy. But I feel like part of why I'm supposed to be here today is to talk about this person. Like, when she's coming in, I feel like she'd give it to you straight. Like, there's something about her being very direct. And she's lovely, but I don't know if people had made comments about her size versus her personality. There's something about this where they're like, that's a lot in a little package, or something along those lines. Do you have any grandmothers that have passed away that you were close to?
Yes.
Okay.
My grandmother had a big personality.
Yep.
She was always the life of the party, but she was short. She was
Fun-sized.
4'10".
Yes.
She was
Precious.
just loved by everyone. Every person loved her.
It's amazing being able to feel the love she had for
Yeah.
you. And even more than she was ever even able to verbalize.
Don't tell anyone, but I was her favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I believe it. Would not surprise me. Absolutely. The thing is she's having me talk about other family dynamics. And this is tricky because your grandma is taking on a motherly role, but then putting your mom to the side. There's a living dynamic that they're bringing up that's like, feels like hitting a wall and hitting a wall and hitting a wall. And I don't know to what extent this will make sense, but if on your mom's side of family, if there's any mother-daughter relationships that have been strained or have been difficult, they're having me acknowledge the daughter in this equation. According to grandma, the daughter in this equation is doing nothing wrong. This daughter in this equation has given the mother figure an opportunity time and time again. It's like, we can't change people on that side of family. It is what it is. Did grandma take on the role of mom when mom wasn't able to in some way?
Yes.
Okay. Grandma wishes you had more support. She's kind of basically saying, I wish I were here to be able to take care of you. Do you feel like you could use some more support on your mom's side that you're not getting?
100%.
Okay. I just need you to know in the way this comes through, you're not doing anything wrong with this. She's having me talk about trying, putting forward effort, even giving someone more than one chance. But every time we do this, it's like we get kicked back and we like kick ourselves and wonder, well, why did I give that chance? Why did I give that opportunity? Just doing this, and it's like, let it go, let it go, let it go. And there's a sense of comfort around that.
I was raised by my grandmother.
Wow, okay.
From 3 days old.
Aww.
My mother was a teenage mom, and she just didn't want to have a child.
Wow.
She basically didn't want to acknowledge my existence my entire life, even though I lived 5 minutes away from her, my family, my mother's family. And I've, up until maybe a couple of years ago, I tried my whole life to have a relationship with her, and she rejected me each and every time. And I was always chasing that relationship with my mother, even though my grandmother was the most amazing woman in the world. She wasn't my mother. No matter how popular you were in school, or how beautiful you were, or how smart you were, you could never get something that most people have, is the love from their mother. I just felt like I was never within reach of that. So my grandmother witnessed everything that she did to me. And my grandmother is just a very loving person, forgiving. She taught me forgiveness.
Yeah. Wow, what an amazing woman. I mean, clearly.
Yeah. I thought in my mind she would hold on until the baby was born, but
Yeah.
it didn't happen that way.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. Is there anything that was unresolved for you, or anything that you could benefit from knowing?
What does she think of my husband?
Well, it's funny because I don't know what this is. There's something funny. She's having me talk about him, talking about his appearance, like the hunk of man. She's having me talk about him, and she's like showing me a tall glass of water when this is going across, and she's basically like, "Yeah, Him.
She like good-looking guys.
Like that's a tall glass of water. So she's like,
she would say that all the time. He's not tall, but she would say that, a tall glass of water.
Yeah.
When she was only 4'10".
Right. Tall to her.
Tall to her. I wanted to hear what Tyler had to say because when I brought home my husband, she was in the acute stages of Alzheimer's, so she wasn't lucid enough to really understand. She didn't even recognize me as her own granddaughter. But when she met my husband, she lit up. I mean, she lit up like it was Christmas.
There's something about a book they're bringing up. It involves publishing. They're having me talk about like publishing, releasing something. It keeps coming through. The thing is they're putting a hold on this. For some reason, they're bringing some family element into this in some way, and they're putting a delay on it, like a hold on it. So it's not viewed as a bad thing, but they're just putting delay around this. Or it's not. That was strange. It fell on its own too. Whew, that's odd. Weird.
What fell?
There's a series of handbags behind you.
Okay.
And the third handbag fell behind you, off of the shelf on its own.
Okay.
So, I'm sweating.
Yeah,
what about you?
ahead.
That's so, oh my God, that was pretty weird. Okay, give me one sec here. Basically, have you ever thought about writing about family, publishing a book?
Well, I wrote a book, but it hasn't been published because there were some issues with my family and their opinions of the book.
Yes. She's giving her approval for you to put this out. She wants you to be able to share your truth with the world.
I did feel as though my story would help a lot of people that have dealt with abandonment issues and things like that.
Absolutely. And you can take something that gave you so much pain and help people. Please know that's a big message today. All right?
Okay.
I'm curious to see the
Yeah,
photo
sure.
here. Can I turn it over?
Sure. Doris.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. Thank you for being so open today.
Well, thank you for helping me. I think you made a lot of things clear for me. I thought Tyler was very insightful, intuitive. Clearly, he's feeling genuine messages.
I think you're meant to have that thing that fell. That's so weird. Grandma's sending a...
Maybe
sending a
she
sign.
left an inheritance in that purse.
But that's interesting.
Half my life's struggle has been trying to have a relationship with my own mother. So when Tyler told me, stop, you're only hurting yourself. Clearly this woman doesn't want you in her life. I felt validated, like, you're right. It's over.
Okay.
My mother, she missed out on a good thing. So which one are you feeling? The best part of life is raising a child, loving a child, accepting a child, nurturing a child. I think he nailed where I am in my life right now. I'm only focusing on myself, my family, and my beautiful child that we're about to have.
Thank you so
All right.
much. I appreciate it.
Bye.